This is a list of lists of composers grouped by various criteria. Name, list of composers by name. Gender, list of female composers by name, list of female composers by birth year, list of Australian women composers. Genre, list of Carnatic composers, list of film score composers, list of classical music composers by era, list of major opera composers, list of composers of musicals, list of musicals by composer, A to L, M to Z, list of ragtime composers, list of symphony composers, list of asysmatic music composers. Era, list of classical music composers by era, list of medieval composers, list of Renaissance composers, list of Baroque composers, list of classical era composers, list of Romantic era composers, list of 20th century classical composers, list of 21st century classical composers. Nationality or ethnicity. Chronological lists of classical composers by nationality, list of composers by nationality. Instrument, list of composers for the classical guitar, list of organ composers, list of piano composers, list of composers and their preferred lyricists, list of string quartet composers. Classification, chronological lists of classical composers, list of Anglican Church composers. See also religious music, list of composers of African descent, list of composers of Caribbean descent, list of composers who studied law, list of modernist composers. See also, lists of musicians, lists of singers, list of singer-songwriters. See also pop music and rock music. External links, sheet music by composer at the International Music Score Library Project, famous composers.